You're such an asshole.
All right, so we have a guy from Europe. I'm going to keep the country he's in anonymous, but he is of Asian ethnicity. So English would probably be his third language. So be forgiving with his writing. Hey, Cappy, I think I did well. I think that I have done almost everything you said what one should do. And I hope this message will bring a smile to your face. I'm watching your channel for a couple of years right now. Here's some sponsoring for your channel, but there will also come a how to get the girls a question. I trust you to keep my contact information private, but I will type keywords in brackets if I really don't want that to be spread on the internet. Could you try to find some substitution words out of it? Yeah, we'll protect you. Call me anonymous. I'm a first generation born Asian guy in a country in Europe. And I look Asian. My parents are Asian. Well, yes, I'd imagine if your parents were Asian, you would look Asian. Look at that white guy over there. Yeah, he's Asian. He doesn't look it. He looks white. Those non-Asian looking Asian people. Yeah, your dad would have to have a conversation if you didn't look at least half Asian. We were poor while growing up, and I have been tough to save money from a young age until this day. I have very minimalistic mindset. I could come by with very little stuff and still be happy. Next to that, you know the Asian culture, school is very important. Yes. This was not different from my youth. So I have worked my ass off. I never understood. I caught flack. I said the only way Asian families, Asian parents could improve upon the original model is to just not even bother with musical instruments. Such a waste of time. Oh, God, oh, Jesus. It's like I asked them to kill their firstborn son. Not learn a musical instrument. Yeah, what? It doesn't do anything. I mean, a handful of people make it in the symphony. Why does every Asian kid got to learn a musical instrument? Honestly, I'd be like, okay, let him go play some video games. Let him go be kind of a normal kid. How dare you, sir? Yeah, so apparently everyone's got to learn a musical. I'm sorry, guys, I don't make the rules. Very important. For many, many years working his ass off. Assuming I will die at 80 years, I have suffered the first third of my life, and I think I will now reap the fruits of the latter 2/3 of my life. I am a couple years away from hitting a certain age. You're still a young man, so I am still quite young. I have studied a engineering field, and I'm now working as a guy at a place doing a thing in that field. I'm making good money. Yeah, especially for Europe. I have looked at the statistics of the country that I live in, and I'm in the top 7%. This includes everybody which is also older than me. Where have all the good men gone? I love my job. It is chill for the majority of the time. Nobody's breathing down my neck. There's only a few people with my specialization that I can determine deadlines of my own deliveries. And my coworkers are not nice. My boss is nice. And I have enough growth potential prospects for my career. My work is located within walking distance, we'll say, of where you live. In my free time, I like to I can mention some of these and not some of these. I like to play video games. Then you have a very unique hobby number 1 that should help you get the girls. But has also fulfilled my passion in a particular martial art that should also help you get the girls. And I have had already a couple of amateur fights. Some I have won, some I have lost, but the joy mainly comes from participating, getting better, and the thrill of the events rather than winning or losing. Yeah, I bet you get a huge energy dump. Not cortisol. What's the adrenaline dump? I bet you that it's hairy, but that's gotta be kind of fun going in there and beating the shit out of each other. I live in a small apartment which is bought. I am paying a mortgage every month. The apartment looks like a meme. Guys live in here, and what do they think this is okay? I also own a small fuel efficient car, which has been bought with money, no bank loan. I earn enough to save every month. I put it in the S&P 500 and I'm now sitting on a significant nest egg, especially for your age. So I didn't major in dumb shit. I did the hard work, didn't make any stupid mistakes. I am a minimalist. Money is piling up. What a surprise. Ha ha ha. I am red pill aware. I will never get married in my life. At the moment, I really don't want to have children. I don't see it changing in the future, but who knows? I like children, but seeing how fucked up the world is right now and how much work I have to put into raising a well-behaving, competent, successful human being for society is just too much work for me. Yeah, but you ought to thank your folks because they did a good job on you. They put the time and effort into you, made sure you went into a good field, got a good work ethic. Further, in the country I live, prostitution is legal. This is what I was really impressed about. There is a brothel within walking distance from where I live. The guy lives within walking distance of his office and walking distance of a brothel. Tell me he didn't pick the spot, man. And for a relative cheap price, you write prize, you mean price, Price. You can have some fun, and that is a cheap price. I go there like once or twice a month. The guy, he's got it. The guy's getting made once or twice. You got a regular? I'm curious. Like, do you got a regular gal you go see? I think it is far cheaper than marriage. You think it's far cheap? You think? You think? So you had a STEM degree. Don't you know? How much math and data do you need to know that paying a professional is infinitely cheaper than marriage? Especially those prices. It also seems like a new 20-something-year-old girl is coming in like once every half a year. Denzel Washington with the thing on his head. I can't say it. You all know what I mean, though. Further, in the country. Oh, wait. I am happy where I am in life. Yeah, I'd be too. However, I am single, would like to have a girlfriend someday. It is more about connection and companionship than sex. Okay. So, Cappy, how do I get the girls up? I have watched many of your videos where you already went over that, but could tell me what I can do at this moment. I feel that I have done everything to make myself an attractive man. You have. What? Let's be honest, and another. Let's nerds in general, STEM guys in general, people have been raised right. You're also, I think, to a certain extent, taught to be too humble. And this is one of those instances where you've put in so much work. What a good question to ask yourself is, what more could I have done? What more could I have done? You're in a martial arts. You got yourself a very fun hobby that should get the girls. You're in great shape. You're very successful. You got good finances. You are handsome. You sent pictures. You're a handsome man. That's true. What more could you do? What more could you? And the answer is probably nothing. And then once you acknowledge that, you say, okay, well, this is out of my control. It's tweaking, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't continue to pursue, but let's accurately diagnose where the problem lies. It's not you. I feel that I've done everything to make myself an attractive man. You have. One of the uphill battles that I have to deal with is that I'm 5'5" tall and how dare you, sir? How dare you? How dare you even approach me knowing full well you are short? How dare you expect to date women being short, sir? How dare you? Curse you, Space Dandy. No one's going to get that joke. You come into my house being short, expecting to get the girls up. How dare you expect the girls being short? And you have the gall to be Asian on top. What dare you, sir? Dare you? One of the uphill battles I have to deal with is that I'm 5'5" tall and Asian. I know. How dare you? At least you have self-awareness. At least you're aware. I know. How dare I be short Asian, dude? Haha. I have read your book, The Book of Numbers. I know that the statistical chance to meet a girl with whom I'm compatible with is smaller than winning the lottery. Well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I've done the numbers. Now, you're shorter, yeah, and it takes what was it? It was like 2.75% of the women are marriageable. The latter chapter, I showed that through asking out a lot of girls, you can actually boost your chances up significantly, to like a 1 in 2 chance, if I recall the numbers. I'm forgetting my own statistics. I misquoted a statistic about the percent increase in young men claiming mental disability from the government. I thought it increased 3 times. It did not. It only went up 40% since 2002. So I was wrong about that. I want to correct myself. But you're not hopeless. It's just going to take a lot of work. So it's not as bad as winning the lottery. It's better than that, but I mean, it's not good either. It's not like I wouldn't even give you a 30% chance in the West anyway. Also, what you've described in your book is that women are just not interested. Hang on. In the average man. I can wholeheartedly say that. That is very true. After everything I've done to make myself the best version of myself, I find that the majority of women just don't care. Getting that initial connection attraction feels like a statistical chance because it does happen from time to time. Yeah, and another thing, how long does it stick around? Dude, I guarantee you, men in the comment section will probably corroborate this. It Every guy has the experience, if not many times, where this at least happened to me a dozen, if not a score of times, at least maybe even 50 times. Went on a date with a girl, she seemed she really liked it, everything was going great, and then just boop, went away. A couple times a dating a girl, things seemed to be going well, and also just "Oh, I can't. And in the past, I kind of suspected it was because I was sure, because there'd be girls and things were going great, everything was wonderful, and then just one day, out of the blue, she's all sad. I'm like, "What's wrong?" "I don't think it'll work out." "Why not?" I mean, I'm not gonna force you, but I'm kind of curious. "Oh no, you're a great guy. I don't know." And you're like, "Well, we had fun all the time. What?" I To this day, I'm pretty sure, not 100%, but 80, 85% sure, the girls really like me, but they just couldn't handle dating a short guy. A lot of times, the guy's shorter than them. I think a lot of times, though, they just got back together with their ex-boyfriend. I think that was another thing. That probably was in there too, because that would also explain it. But they were going well. You have that connection. Just boom. Those kind of took a little more. You took a little more damage from those than just the girl that you thought you had a good date with and you never heard from her again. But yeah, I can guarantee, yes, you're a good-looking guy. You're exceptional. You're an exceptional human being. You have achieved many things. And you are great on paper. You're probably really great in personality too, because you have suffered, you have toiled, you have sharpened not only your body and mind, but your personality as well. I guarantee you're a very interesting person to go out with. And girls probably really like hanging out with you, but then, he's 5'5". Oh, no, Beauregard couldn't have you being happy and dating a 5'5" guy. Now, could you? It's just so sad. There's one side where you're like, oh well, eh, the short guys are like the fat women of the dating world for women. They don't like short guys. But then I've seen it where I could have swore she liked me. There were some things we were doing where she really seemed to like me, and and it was a reluctant. It's not gonna work out. Okay, fine. So yeah, you're running into that. I know that the statistical chance to meet a girl with whom I'm compatible with is smaller than when also you've described your book is women are just interested in the average man. I can wholeheartedly say that that is very true. After everything I've done to make myself the best version of myself, I find that the majority of women just don't care. Getting that initial connection attraction seems like a statistical chance because it does happen from time to time, right? And then then the girl, this is what I'm guessing happened in your instances. She's having a good time, starting to realize she really liked you, and then it's like, "Oh, wait, is this the guy I'm gonna settle for?" And I can guarantee you, in 100% of the instances, your height played either the entire factor or at least was one of the factors where like, "Ah, I can't continue on. We've had a great time, everything was wonderful, but I can't because I don't wanna settle for a guy that's short." That's it. Your book saved me from banging my head against the wall. Good. Glad to hear it. Thinking that there's something wrong with me. No, there cannot, unless you didn't tell me something about yourself. Leo found material from mystery and old school pickup material popping up on the internet. I'm looking into going out more often to bars and dancing parties to practice old school pickup material. That's not the worst thing. Not the worst thing for you to do. Get out there, talk to girls in person. I've been thinking that maybe I need some more skill. I know already now that this will be a grind, a numbers game. Yep, you got it. And I don't know if you really need any more skill because you have asked girls out, you have gone out with them, you've been on dates. You don't seem like an antisocial person, so you're not this, oh my God, go out, but I have social anxieties. I'm gonna listen to this Zoomer kid who just came up with epiphanies last week, 3 days after he hit puberty. I'm picking on someone else. You don't sound like that guy. But it's going to be a time commitment. And here's the problem you're going to face with that. You are a busy man and you have shit going on. You got a real career. You got real hobbies. You have a good life. If you want to go out and have a good time doing dancing and going to social, yeah, go have some fun. But man, if any point in time you start getting sick of it, you don't want to do it no more. That's your brain telling you, like, yeah, I'm not having fun anymore. And you'll have success, but yeah, you are aware, it seems, of the numbers and the statistics you're going up against. In my opinion, I think I'm quite a social guy. I am mainly introverted and like more to be alone in peace and solitude than having people around me. Just want to say again that I am so happy to have my own apartment. But jokes aside, I do want to find a girl someday, and the chance of meeting a girl is bigger than zero if I leave my apartment and go out. Yes. Yep. You don't seem afraid of it either. Oh, yeah, travel. Oh, yeah, travel. I don't travel a lot at the moment because of your martial arts. When I feel that I have enough satisfaction from that sport and that I have squeezed everything out of my youthful body, I'm planning to travel more often. So, Cappy, what are your thoughts on this? Sorry for the long story. Let me know how much you want to charge. I would like to get a video response. Let me know if you want some photos, judge appearance, and no, you look fine. All right, so you basically have answered your own question. There's not much else for you to do. It is a numbers game. You're aware of that. You take action. You're not the person to sit there and whine and complain on the internet. So you are doing the right thing and you're going to have some success. You will have some success, but the age you're at, because you're a younger man, a lot of women aren't looking to get married, and there's nothing you could do about your height. There is nothing you could do about your height. And because you have such opportunity cost, because you're invested in so many other things, I'm going to recommend to you what I recommend to my my American clients who are of foreign ethnicity, which happened to a couple of my friends. My Vietnamese buddy, he went to Vietnam, got himself a girl. Indian buddy, Asian Indian, not American Indian. He went back to India, got himself a girl. I don't know what specific Asian ethnicity you are, but I would go back to the home country. Your parents, they are the original immigrants out of that country. You obviously have family. They obviously have contacts. I would play to that strength. That's because the women are shorter, but there's some cultural commonalities and similarities you have with people in your ethnic home country that seem to give men an advantage of finding a good woman or a marriageable woman and getting married. In the interim, what you could do is, because you're in Europe, you're not that far from the Soviet bloc or former Soviet bloc. You could go to other Eastern European countries and but they're becoming rapidly westernized as the internet spreads out. So maybe you could do that, and it's fun to travel, kind of loop that in. I wouldn't throw a lot of hope and expectation in there, but yeah, you're gonna have to go for an away game, a long ways away. You're gonna have to fly to your home, talk to your parents first when you're ready to get married. Don't be flying out to China or wherever your folks are from. Don't be flying all the way out there if you ain't looking for a gal. Like, seriously. If you want to go travel to Japan or China or wherever, the home country is. Yeah, go there, have some fun, and then maybe talk to the girls, maybe date a little bit. Okay, that's cool, that's fine. But you're kind of in this. You can't really go search for a wife until you are ready to have a wife, and even that's going to take multi-years process. I think your wife is going to have an issue with you going down to the brothel 3 blocks down 2 times per month. So I would get my fill of that. I would I would avail myself of that as much as you can before you sell it, because those times are going to end. But yeah, you're gonna have to go overseas. It's just it's just the way it works. That's where your statistical chances are best. Half because the girls will be shorter over there, the other half because you got some cultural home advantage going on. And by all means, enjoy the European gals and the brothels and go and date and have a good time and ask girls out normally. And if they, you're going to go out, just go into some dance parties, maybe play some volleyball or whatever else. Um, yeah, and ask a girl out, but you're going to have your statistical answer pretty quick. Where after a year or two of this, and you're going to have some dates, and the girls aren't going to be like, "Oh yeah, well, what do you think about marriage? What do you think about long term?" I have a feeling you're going to kind of be the fun guy. You're gonna be their moped. You're fun, but they're ashamed to see them riding you. If you don't know what the moped is, look it up in the United States. It's a what is it? A story, an axiom. What the hell is that called? A metaphor? I think it's a metaphor. Metaphor. Having sex with a fat girl in the United States is like riding a moped. It's fun, but you're embarrassed or something like that. Girls got to kind of view you that way. You might get lucky. You might find a girl, wow, I really like this guy. He's amazing. He does all these great things. And there's a chance. And you will increase your chances asking girls out and doing exactly what you have intended and planned in mind. But you've read the menu, you've read the book of numbers, you know what your chances are. And so now you have to think outside of the box, or at least outside of Europe. And yeah, you're gonna have to I can't guarantee. Tomorrow you can meet some amazing, wonderful girl. If I have 8 kids, yeah, it can happen. But no, I almost guarantee you're gonna have to be going overseas. There's nothing wrong with having a conversation with your folks now. Talk to your parents, see if they know anyone. Like, hey, how do we go back? What do we, because I'm starting to think marriage more so. And what do you think about if I went back home to find a nice Asian gal? And they said, well, you're gonna have to go over here, go over there. We might know someone, and they send an email to Uncle Fester, securely living in Asia. And then you also have here, forgot something I'd like to also touch up on. In general, I'm quite happy and content with life. However, occasionally I have some feeling of melancholy. At the moment, I don't have big life goals because big chunk of my needs are met and everything was under my control. Yeah, and you have achieved some big goals. You've achieved the biggest ones: career, education, finances, home ownership. Not a lot of goals left. Uh, Needs are met and everything was under my control. Did my best to manage. You spelled manager. So all my lower levels of Maslow are met: food, clothing, shelter. I stumble upon what I should do in my life. During the hard work and building my life, I felt joy in the slow improvements and achievements, but now I feel that life is stagnating and plateauing. Yes, that's normal. That's what happens. You reach cruising altitude and cruising speed and you just go. Unless you introduce new things to your life, which you will have to, which you're already on the way to do with dancing and going out and other activities. What you're fighting is you call it stagnation and plateauing. It's novelty. Everything has a shelf life of novelty. And soon things lose their novelty. Soon they are no longer novel. They're no longer interesting. You could marry the hottest redhead with the tiggest old biddies ever. You'll get sick of her. Your favorite ice cream, you'll get sick of. And that's just normal. So there's nothing wrong with you, but it's your responsibility to go and find something else to do. So I would be looking at traveling. You're at the stage now, you've done all the hard work. Now you can go have fun. So there's, yeah, you got a train system. If I was in Europe, I'd be hopping on the train. Like, okay, I want to go to whatever Italy. I want to go to Belgium. I want to go to Denmark. Whatever people do. Um, you got to fill in your time, and so you got a lot of hobbies, but you probably need more. But that's everyone. There's nothing wrong with you. I got the same thing. Like, God Almighty, there's days where I'll get all my work done, and like, okay, what do I do now? It's like, oh, you have free time. How did that work again? What am I supposed to like? Well, do whatever you want. It's like, well, what? I forgot what I wanted to do. I know I hiked, but you get the hike done, and so I'll be getting into. I'll probably look at taking some electrician courses, and then probably get into martial arts. A friend of mine is into boxing. I might like, oh, I'd like to punch you in the face. You're my friend. I'd love to punch you in your face. Yeah, I want to join. Yeah, just once. I just want to land a good blow, just once. Uh, is it plateauing at a very comfortable level? Don't get me wrong, but I get the feeling of what to do the next 50 years is still a long way to keep myself busy occupied. Yep, that is the biggest hurdle young men and women of quote our generation, anyone under 50 faces. Because normally you would have kids and then you wouldn't have that question. Like my friends that have kids, they don't ask, what do I do in life? It's like, oh, the kid set the house on fire. They got to attend to the children. So that's where normally all your extra energy would go. But if women aren't interested in getting married or having kids, well, there's not much you can do about that except finding it. And then let's say you went overseas, you did find a wife, and you had kids, you'll have purpose and meaning. You'll have obligations. But since that is not 100% in your control, yeah, you're going to have to figure out something to do. I mean, my next step is on top of electricianship and boxing is probably power paragliding. I have a list. Uh, I've read your book, The Menu. I know you already have discussed this topic in some of your videos, but can you again have some words on this topic? Do you maybe have some new insights or epiphany? No, that was it. I gave it all in the menu. There's not much left. I think here's the only added insight. I say, give up hope, man. It's really important for everyone to give up hope when there is no answer. You have a problem. It's like an itch. Oh gosh, I wish this itch would go away. Sometimes the itch never goes away because there is no answer. There is no solution. And so I would give up hope. You're doing everything you possibly can. The solution would be married, kids, raise family. You won't even have time to breathe, let alone God. Remember what was great when I was banging whores and participating in martial arts and made money with my own apartment. You'll remember these days fondly. But those days are gone of getting, or they're not gone, but they're statistically less likely today than they were before. And so, with family off the table for many people, like, yeah, there's a lot of, you just have to accept that it's going to be a lifetime struggle of figuring out what to do. And there's no solution. There's no way to make it go away. It is your new rock to push up the hill. It is your new burden. So I don't have any other insights except to kind of, you could take action and you know that there's a good statistical chance you won't find a wife or kids. Okay. And in the case that happens, you have to give up hope and just accept, well, yeah, there is no family. So it is your job to go and find out what next to do. You might be the type, maybe I don't know if you get a doctorate. But you're young. I'd be going and traveling and having a good old time and just relax. But you've worked your entire life. Go drive around. Go relax. Go have a good go bang some yours. All right. Link below. I have the two books you mentioned. If anybody else is in this situation, whether you're short Asian or not, The Menu: Life Without the Opposite Sex. The numbers are American. They would generally apply to Canada, Europe, Australia, New Zealand. And then the menu, life without the opposite sex. They're forecasted 45% in the US, a significant percent of Westerners. You're not going to get married. You're not going to have kids. A significant percent, both men and women. So you better find out a point purpose to live. And no, I don't got any added chapters to add to that book. All right, let's go to the super chats and have ourselves a treat. Just bear with me. So I gotta do it this way. Colin, $2. It's possible to make no mistakes and still lose. Yes. I don't know if he's going to lose. He just won't win necessarily at the game that we normally generally want to play. That's it. There you go. All right. Questions, answers. AssholeConsulting.com. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.